everybody. First live show for the year. I can't believe it. I completely forgot last week. Yeah, I think I was definitely in holiday mode. So it was pretty cool to just not know what day it was and then suddenly realise I'd missed my show. So anyway, back here, first show of the year. I am excited. 2022, hey? Wow. If the current energy and with the readings that I have been doing already is anything to go by, we're in for a bit of a treat this year, or at least the start of it anyway. I think no matter where you are in the world, there's been so many ups and downs, but I think energetically this year it's giving, that typical January, let's get into the groove feel. And for many, I've noticed that have really sort of done the groundwork in whether it's personal development and healing or just expanding on, what you're already doing to just make life a little bit easier. We're certainly getting pushed along with it. So that's pretty cool. And I am a bit excited. So there's opportunities around for many at the moment. If you're not finding the opportunities, it might be a case of actually opening your eyes and stepping outside of the normal routine that you have, changing things up a bit just so that you're in allowance for the universe to bring you something new. New year, it does have a new vibe, and I love the repeat pattern of the twos. That gets me excited, and I know already even in my world there's been, things popping up that are exciting and showing that this year, will be pretty, I feel like it's going to be a bit of an action-packed year. And that doesn't necessarily mean full on throughout the whole year, but I do feel like there's going to be opportunities coming that maybe we didn't expect before. We might get what we need, not what we want. So being, in that surrender place of just being allowance of what's coming will put you in good stead. So try and remember that when sometimes something might be presented that you're a little bit reluctant to say yes to, just be open to it. Sit on it and think about it for a little while. You might be pleasantly surprised, and I do see that for many this year. There might be some surprises, but again, for the bigger picture, and, I see it as a bit of a positive in amongst the upheaval, all the stuff we've been going through. And, it doesn't make life easy. And, it does feel a little bit like going into our third year now that, is the end is not close by. So, we need to sometimes look through that. So I think for many, it's a little bit like we're moving on from that and saying, you know what, let's get ready for what's coming and let's be open to it. All right, I'm going to go on to my caller, Susie from Kingston, Ontario in Canada. Susie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Tonia, how are you?
Good. So great to connect. I love connecting with you Canadians. You tend to be our sister country, or that's what we look at it as. Haven't got over there yet, but we did plan to travel over there in 2020. So hopefully 2023 might be the year that we get to go over. So we keep saying every year, we're going to get there at some point. So that's a bit exciting.
Well, I hope you do. My fingers are crossed.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, it was funny. I was shuffling. I've got my card deck, my mediumship card deck on me today, and I was shuffling it around a bit to start with, and I had pulled out the grandmother card for you. And it was interesting because I had a few in the spirit world, which is not uncommon, but I had a grandmother who had a good sense of humour who came through, like there was, playing tricks on you was one of the cards that came out as well. And, I feel like you would have had a good rapport with her, but it's like she was the first one stepping up. But I also wanted to bring up, prior to coming on today, and I'm trusting that it resonates with you, but is there anyone that's passed that there was a bit of a question mark around or a bit of uncertainty either on how they passed, or I felt like there was a spirit coming through that was a little bit like that needed to come through with some information?
Yes. Very recently.
Okay, cool. Because it was like, all right, and spirit gives me different signs, but I always have a bit of a candle going, and the candle got snuffed out, and I was like, okay, somebody's candle's been snuffed out prematurely. not ideally as far as timing goes, but it's like, it was really strongly, I was here and then gone, bang. And the questions around that. So it was almost what they were coming through showing me was like, when I say they, I don't know whether there was a couple that passed at the same time and there was one that is connecting for you, or they're coming through with others, but there's a couple in the spirit world coming through. And there was the question mark was almost like what it appeared to have happened actually wasn't the story. So it was like it was really important it was like it was really important to say it wasn't as it seemed. And that's what came through strongly. So it was almost as if, I almost felt like I was dealing with something that needed evidence to back up what had happened, and possibly that evidence was either not there or in some way had been a little bit messed with, I want to say. And it's an unusual one for them to come through with, but it was just like there's more to it, and I do feel like there's aspects of it that is going to unravel, and the bottom, it's almost like we haven't got to the bottom of it yet.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Correct. Yeah.
So it's like there is more to unravel, more to come from that. And I feel like there'll be somebody coming forward with this. So I don't know whether someone hasn't come forward yet because they're scared, or, there's a hesitancy, but it's like they're showing me the person that needs to come forward will, and that will then give more evidence as to, exactly what did happen.
Okay.
Because there's something in it like it's a bit of a mystery, and they won't specifically show me what, but it was like I had to come through and tell you that all isn't as it seemed to be, if that makes sense. So there's just that, whether it looked as if it was deliberate or not, or it was just something around, it wasn't quite what people thought it was.
Okay.
All right, so just keep that in mind, because I feel like they really came through strongly. Can I ask, is it a male? Because there's a couple there in the spirit world, but I felt like, it was a male energy that was coming through with this information. Bit of a character. I feel like also he lived life on his terms, and, almost putting his hand up to I feel like he lived a bit of a full life, so got a lot done maybe, even though it was cut short, or through in his eyes anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
and
correct.
there's also a sorry to somebody. So there's that feeling of letting someone down, and something's coming through with that, acknowledging now in the spirit world to say, look, I am sorry. I don't know that he would have been someone that said sorry, ordinarily, but it's almost because it's like it's a really big thing for him to come through and say, I'm sorry. But he wants to take a bit of ownership. So, and I do feel very strongly, it's like he's coming to me, he's around Mum quite strongly. So I feel like she might be thinking she's going mad, because it's like, thinking that, sensing him around and that kind of thing, but he's acknowledging that he's there. So just, it's almost like he wants to reassure her that she's not going mad, that he is around.
Okay.
It's like it very, very strongly, and it's like as if he wouldn't be, I want to say. This is cool. He's also acknowledging now, going on to some information about yourself. You're stepping into something new this year. He's showing me, it's almost like there's a little bit of cheekiness in the way he's bringing it across, like it's about time. So it's like you're doing something you've been going to do for a long time, and now you're doing it. You've made a decision to do it.
Okay.
Is this to do with what you do? Like, it's almost, I feel like you're finally, it's like you're honouring who you are more so than you have before. So it's like embracing all of you.
I have dedicated this year to myself, I guess, mental health and physical health, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Well, it's like it's important. That does make sense. I was almost going to say, I don't know whether you do a lot as far as connecting spiritually, but it's like you're very in tune. So you have that empathic side to you, and I'd like to see you explore that, because I feel like you would feel home when you connect with others that are like-minded, because they're showing me, and this is coming from the grandmother in the spirit world, you maybe have felt a bit misunderstood, and you're a little bit like, not the black sheep of the family, but it's like you go to the beat of your own drum compared to the other family members.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like now you're finally beating your own drum. It's like, Susie's following Susie, and it's like there's not that fear around being able to step up into who you are. And you were saying about mental health and health and really stepping into things. There's been uncertainty around because you've felt like you don't fit in. And I see a lot of that being your spiritual connection, like your connection to your own psychic insights, because you do get things strongly. And I do feel like you have, spirit around that give you things that you might not fully understand, but if you were to open and develop those, that would almost like give you that sense of, well, not almost, that would give you that sense of peace, because you're connecting with your soul. And it's like that's spiritually, that's who you are.
Okay.
There's many of us that struggle, in this human existence. When you've got that, it's almost like I say, it's your sixth sense that you're really fine-tuned with. The more you feed that, the more you tend to sit in a place of peace and, feeling not only at peace with yourself but with others as well. And it just helps life flow a bit. So for me, you connecting into, doing more meditation, connecting with a group that connects regularly, that has that connection to, opening up your psychic gifts would be very powerful for you.
Okay.
So put that on the self-love list.
I will do that.
Yeah, because you've got it in spades, they're showing me that clearly. You have got that, that psychic spiritual side. And, to not utilize it is sometimes when we get a bit stuck. And to me, you opening up to that will be amazing. And the insights you'll get will be pretty cool. And I also see creativity for you is important. So get the artistic side out. I feel like you're painting.
Okay.
When we create that, puts us in the other side of the brain, so that we're, we're just tuning into what feels right for us. So this is your year. 2022 is a pretty big with his repeat numbers. So go for it, Susie. Woohoo!